Design and analysis of single phase inverter. This is one of the experiment in electrical simulation lab. Okay, so in this we have to discuss how to design the inverter. Okay, and what is the different types of pulse width modulation techniques? What are the different types of techniques? Okay, modulation techniques. So these are the different types of common techniques for controlling of output voltage of inverter. Okay, so these are the different types of techniques, common techniques for controlling of the output voltage of the inverter. So here output is called controlled, that is called how the output voltage can be controlled means by controlling the width of the gating pulse. Okay, by controlling the width of the gating pulses, the output voltage can be controlled. Okay, so gating pulses, the width of the gating pulse. Okay, by controlling the width of the gating pulses, we have to control the output voltage. Okay, so by controlling the width of the gating pulses, this is one of the important. So by using different type of techniques, we have to control the width of the gating pulse. Okay, the gate pulse can be controlled by using comparing the two signals. Okay, so the gating pulse can be controlled by using comparing the two different types of signals. Gate pulse are generated by using different types of signals, comparing the two signals. So one is called reference signal and another one is called carrier signal. Okay, the output voltage can be controlled by controlling the width of the gating pulses. Okay, and this gating pulse can be generated by comparing the two signals. Comparing the two signals, so that is called first one is called reference signal and second one is called carrier signal. So carrier signal is called high frequency triangular signal. Generally, this carrier signal is having high frequency triangular signal, and the reference signal is a that may be square or sinusoidal or rectangular, whatever may be. So the reference signal is different, but carrier signal is maximum only triangular signal. Okay, high frequency triangular signals are generally used. Okay, so by comparing the two different signals, we will get gate pulse. The gate pulse are fed to the thyristors. Okay, inverter thyristors SCR. So then output voltage can be controlled. So then we will generate AC, DC to AC. Okay, so here, so this is one signal that is called reference signal. This is called reference signal and this is called carrier signal. By using these two signals, by comparing these two signals, we will generate gate pulses. Okay, this comparator compare the two signals. Okay, some cases in a rectangular signal or a square, if it is a reference signal is a rectangular or square, for this case, if reference signal is carrier signal is greater than that reference signal, we will get gate pulses. Okay, for sinusoidal pulse width modulation, for a sinusoidal signal, if it is a reference signal is sinusoidal, then reference signal is greater than that of the carrier signal, then we will get the gate pulses. Okay, to compare the comparators, comparator compare the two inputs, reference signal and carrier signal. By comparing the two signals, so it will generate the gate pulses. Okay, the gate pulses are fed to the inverter, SCR inverter thyristor, inverter SCRs. Then output voltage can be controlled and then we will get the output here sine waveform. Okay, so there are different types of pulse width modulation techniques. There are different types of pulse width modulation techniques. There are three types of. Okay. First one is called single pulse techniques. Okay, single pulse techniques and multiple pulse techniques and the sinusoidal PWM techniques. These are the three common techniques for pulse width modulation techniques to control the voltage of the single phase inverter. So these are the common techniques are used. Okay, by comparing the reference signal and by taking the reference signal and carrier signal. So three types of techniques are used. This by using these two signals in this three types. Okay, by comparing the single pulse techniques, multiple pulse techniques, and the sinusoidal pulse technique, PWM technique, pulse width modulation technique. In these three techniques, so we have to use reference signal and carrier signal. So in different ways. In single pulse technique, only one rectangular reference signal is used. Only one rectangular reference signal and one carrier triangular signal for one half cycle can be used. Okay, only one rectangular reference signal like this. Only one rectangular reference signal. This is called our reference signal, only one rectangular reference signal and one carrier triangular signal for one off cycle. This is called a carrier signal, only one carrier signal. Okay, this is called carrier signal, and this rectangular is called reference signal. Okay, for one off cycle. So reference signal is denoted by AR, other some cases VR. Okay, carrier signal is called AC or VC, and if for this single pulse technique, carrier signal is greater than reference signal, gate pulse is generated. Try to understand. Comparator compare the two signals. Here comparator compare the two signals. Okay, this comparator compare the reference signal and carrier signal. If okay, carrier signal AC is greater than AR, then gate pulse is generated. Gate pulse is generated. Carrier signal is greater than AR, that is called AC is greater than AR. Carrier signal is greater than reference signal, then gate pulse is generated. Carrier signal is less than AR, no gate pulse is generated. So according to this conditions, we will get generate gate pulses by using comparator. By using comparators, we have to generate by comparing the two signals like this. Okay, by using comparators, we have to compare it like this. If AC is greater than AR, that is called reference, that carrier signal is greater than reference signal. Okay, carrier signal is greater than reference signal, then gate pulse is generated. This is one of the important here. And if carrier signal is less than reference signal, no gate pulse is generated. So this in this way we have to control the output voltage, but this is called a modulation index. By taking the modulation index concept, so we have to control the output voltage. Okay, so there is modulation index is nothing but AR divided by S. Reference signal AR divided by carrier signal AC. Then that is called a modulation index. By using the modulation index, we have to control the output voltage. If modulation index is less, then output voltage is magnitude is less. If modulation index is more, then output voltage magnitude is more. That means reference signal AR divided by AC. If this AR magnitude is more compared to AC, then it will be near to 1. Then we will get output voltage maximum. Okay, by using modulation index, so that is called by controlling the AR and AC. So we have to control the output voltage of the inverter. So here, this is called carrier signal. This is called carrier signal. Okay, triangular, high frequency triangular signal is called carrier signal, and this is called reference signal. Rectangular is called reference signal. Okay, this is called reference signal. So if here AC is greater than AR, AC is greater than AR, that is called carrier signal is greater than reference signal, then gate pulse is generated. So up to here, this distance, okay, up to here. So here carrier signal is greater than reference signal. Okay, carrier signal is greater than reference signal. Then here onwards we will generate gate pulse. So up to here, this is the our gate pulse. So in this region, in this area, okay, carrier signal is more than that of reference signal. Carrier signal is more than reference signal. So that's why. So we will generate this type of pulse. Similarly, here also, carrier signal is more than reference signal. AC is greater than AR. Okay, so then you will generate this type of gate pulse. Okay, for a negative half cycle. For negative half cycle, this is the pulse width. Okay, so then similarly for pass 2 half cycle, so this is the pulse width. Here carrier signal is more than reference signal. Carrier signal is more than reference signal up to here. This is the area. Okay. So carrier signal is more than reference signal. That's why you will get this type of pulse. Okay, gate pulses are generated according to the single pulse technique. By the concept of single pulse techniques, we will generate gate pulses are like this. Okay. So in this one rectangular reference signal and one carrier triangular signal. If AC is greater than AR, the gate pulse is generated like this. AC is greater than AR. Here this is called AR reference signal. This is called AC. AC is greater than AR, then we will get gate pulse. Here AC is greater than AR. Okay, this is called AR and this is called AC. Okay, carrier signal is more than that of the reference signal, then gate pulse is generated. So like this single pulse technique. Okay, by using single pulse technique, we have to generate gate pulses. Then this is one of the concepts. Next, multiple pulse technique. So then coming to the multiple pulse technique. So one rectangular reference signal and multiple triangular carrier signals. Okay. One rectangular reference signal and multiple triangular carrier signals in one half cycle. Understand? So here reference signal is called AR. The reference signal is denoted by AR and carrier signal is denoted by AC. Reference signal is denoted by AR and the carrier signal is denoted by AC. Same as a single pulse multiple technique. Here also AC is greater than AR, AC is greater than AR, then gate pulse is generated, AC is less than AR. No gate pulse is generated. Okay. Carrier signal is greater than that of the reference signal, gate pulse is generated, carrier signal is less than that of the AR, no gate pulse is generated. Okay, this gate pulsar can be compared by using comparator, and then this comparator compare the two signals and pulses are generated. Okay, so here gate pulsar that is called rectangular reference signal, multiple triangular signals. So like this, multiple triangular signal, rectangular reference signal. This is called rectangular reference signal, but multiple triangular signal. Same as previous one here. This is called carrier signal is more than that of the reference signal, then pulse with pulse generated. Okay, here the carrier signal more than that of the reference signal, then pulse is generated like this. Okay, so carrier signal is more than that of the reference signal, then pulse is generated in this way. So in single pulse PWM technique, only one gate pulse is generated, but here multiple pulse. Okay, so multiple pulse techniques. This is called different types of triangular waveform, different is having high frequency triangular waveform. So that's why it is multiple pulse triangular waveform. Here, multiple pulse triangular carrier signal, multiple pulse triangular carrier signals. So that's why you will get different types of pulses. Okay, multiple pulses in single half cycle. Okay, similarly in a negative half cycle also. So we'll get this is called a carrier signal. Carrier signal is more than that of the reference signal. That's why the negative side pulse is generated like. Okay, similarly here also carrier signal is more than that of the reference signal, then pulses are generated. So in this way, this multiple pulse techniques used. So here one is the main disadvantage is called gate pulse are generated with the same pulse width. Okay, in a single pulse technique, the gate pulse is here same. The width of the gate pulse is the same. Okay, the width of the gate pulse here. This is the width of the gate pulse, and this is also the width of the gate pulse. Here width of the gate pulse. That means width of the gate pulse are same. Width of the gate pulse are same here. So that is the drawback. So not only here, multiple pulse techniques also. Width of the gate pulse is the same. Here, this is called width of the gate pulse, and here this is called width of the gate pulse, and this is called width of the gate. That means width of the gate pulse are not changing. Width of the gate pulse are constant. So this is the one of the drawback of this techniques, multiple pulse techniques and a single pulse technique. So this drawback can be overcome by using the last one, that is called sinusoidal pulse width modulation technique. By using this sinusoidal pulse width modulation technique, so we have to overcome the drawback of single pulse technique and multiple pulse technique. So like this. So in sinusoidal PWM technique, here different concept. Okay. So for this sinusoidal reference signal, here reference signal is called sinusoidal, and multiple triangular carrier signals is called carrier signal. Multiple triangular signal is called carrier signal, and a sinusoidal reference signal is called sinusoidal. Okay, reference signal. Sinusoidal reference signal is called reference signal. Sinusoidal signal is called reference signal, and a multiple triangular signal is called carrier signal. So here the reference signal same as previous, are denoted by AR, and the carrier signal is AC. If AC is less than AR, that is called carrier signal is less than reference signal, the gate pulse is generated. This is the concept here, opposite of the previous one. Here AC is greater than ER, that is called carrier signal is greater than reference signal. The gate pulse is generated when single pulse and multiple pulse technique. But here, sinusoidal PWM technique is opposite. Carrier signal is less than reference signal. That means the reference signal is more than carrier signal, the gate pulse is generated. Reference signal is more than that of the carrier signal, then gating pulse is generated. And the carrier signal is greater than that of the reference signal, the no gate pulse is generated. Okay, this is the comparison in the sinusoidal pulse width modulation. Okay, carrier signal is less than the reference signal. Otherwise, reference signal is more than carrier signal, then only the gate pulse is generated. This is the important concept. Okay, so the try to concentrate here. This is called a reference signal or reference signal. Sinusoidal is called a reference signal, and a triangular, multiple triangular signal is called our carrier signal. This is called carrier signal, and this is called a reference signal. Sinusoidal is called only here only one sinusoidal waveform is called a carrier signal. Some cases two different carrier signals are used, but here only one signal, that is called one reference signal, sinusoidal, one reference sinusoidal signal, but multiple triangular signal is called carrier signal. So try to consider here. So here this is called a reference signal is more than that of the carrier signal, then we will get pulse width. Okay, pulse triggering pulse. We will generate pulse triggering pulse. Your reference signal, this is called reference signal. Your reference signal is more than that of the carrier signal. Okay, reference signal is more than that of the carrier signal. So that's why, so pulse is generated. Okay, here T, your reference signal is more than that of the carrier signal, then this type of pulse width is pulse generated. Similarly, here also, okay, reference signal is more than carrier signal. Your reference signal is more than carrier signal, then this type of pulse is generated. Then here also reference signal, here also reference signal is more than carrier signal. That's why the pulse is generated. This type of pulse is generated. Okay. So here try to consider here the width of the pulse and the width of this pulse and its pulse are different. Pulse width is different, but in a single pulse and multiple pulse technique, only the width is constant. That drawback can be overcome by using this technique, sinusoidal pulse width modulation technique. So in this way, we have to generate triggering pulses, and these triggering pulses are fed to the inverter, SCR inverter, then output voltage can be controlled. So that means by controlling the reference signal and the carrier signal, we will generate output. Okay, fine. Single phase full bridge with PWM operation. So here, this is called a triangular waveform. This is called triangular. This is called high frequency triangular waveform. Okay, this is called carrier signal. Triangular signal is called carrier signal, and this is called a reference signal. This is called sinusoidal reference signal. Okay. Two reference signals in this two reference signals and one carrier signal. Two reference signals. One reference signal is like this. Okay, and one other reference signal is 180 degrees out of phase. This is called another reference signal. This is called one reference signal, and this is another reference signal. Two reference signals are used here, and only one triangular signal. Okay, high frequency triangular signal. Here, the output voltage of this triangular signal, I mean, output voltage of this can be controlled by controlling the modulation index, and also output frequency of the load. The voltage across the load is called AC. This is called DC to AC, no? So DC to AC converter. That's why in this load across the load, the output frequency is same as reference frequency. Okay, the reference frequency based on same as reference frequency, we will get output frequency. That means output frequency of the load, output frequency is nothing but our reference signal frequency. If the reference signal frequency changes, the output frequency changes. Okay, and the reference signal is called sinusoidal signal here, and here this is called unipolar switching. Unipolar single phase full bridge inverter. This is called unipolar single phase full bridge inverter. So in this sinusoidal pulse width modulation, reference signal is more than carrier signal, then only triggering pulse is generated. Okay, reference signal is more than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated. So here also reference signal is more than gate carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated. Okay. Here the reference signal up to year for pass to sine wave. The reference signal is greater than carrier signal. Reference signal is greater than, this is called reference signal is greater than carrier signal. Reference signal is greater than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated. Same way here also. Reference signal here to 0 to this. Reference signal is greater than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated like this. So here also the reference signal is greater than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated. Okay. So here to here, this is called reference signal is greater than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated. This gate pulse is generated. Same way here also, this reference signal is greater than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated like this. This okay, a reference signal here to here. So here to here, the reference signal is greater than carrier signal, then gate pulse is generated. So here next for negative off cycle, for positive off cycle like this, and similarly negative off cycle, the comparator compare the two signals. Okay, for negative off cycle, this is called positive off cycle, and then negative off cycle year to year. Okay, this reference signal, okay, reference signal is greater than carrier signal, that is called minus V or is greater than minus VC, then we will get generate this type of output. Fine. So this is called unipolar operation. So in this single phase full bridge inverter, here unipolar operation means we will get this here for positive off cycle, for positive off here for this reference signal positive side. So only 0 plus VD, we will get 0 voltage and plus VD voltage we will get. Okay, for negative off cycle, 0 and minus VD we will get. That means either 0 VD, otherwise 0 minus VD. Okay, like this. So these voltages, the gating pulses are generated. That means so we have to generate the gating pulses in between the range 0 VD. Okay, the gating pulses are so like this. So 0, 0 to plus VD. Okay, like this. This is called unipolar operation. Otherwise, negative 0 minus VD. So like this, 0 minus VD. This is called unipolar operation. Okay, this is called minus VD. So bipolar operation means bipolar means, so we'll get plus VD and minus VD, minus VD to plus VD. So in bipolar operations, this is for unipolar operation. So for bipolar operation, so we'll get like this, minus VD to plus VD. So this is our 0 reference. This is called 0 and minus VD, and this is called plus VD. This is called bipolar operation. Okay. So bipolar operation, so we will get like this. So one is the main advantage of the unipolar operation here. Stress across the devices are less. That means the stress, that means voltage stress across the devices. So only VD. Okay, voltage stress across the devices, switching devices. This is called switching device, one switching device. Okay, so IGBT or MOSFET. Voltage stress across the devices is called only plus VD. But bipolar, this is called bipolar. Okay, in bipolar, the voltage stress across the devices is increased by 2 times. That is called VD minus VD. That is equal to 2 times of voltage. So this much of voltage is voltage stress is applied across the switching devices. Here 2 VD, here 2 VD. Okay, so like this, this 2 VD. This much of voltage. Okay, two times of voltage can be applied across this devices. That means, so 2 VD is called this voltage, high voltage stress is subjected to this devices. So that's why this is the one of the drawback of bipolar switching. That's why, so recommended only for unipolar. Unipolar is best recommended compared to bipolar pulse width modulation techniques. Okay, so in this unipolar pulse width modulation techniques, uh, here, so we'll get in unipolar pulse width modulation. So our output voltage is called one is 0 and one is called VD. Otherwise, this is one of the combination. Okay. Otherwise, minus VD or 0. This is the one of the combination. Okay. And this one is one combination, and this is called first combination. 0 plus VD, and the second combination 0 minus VD. So we want this type of combination for unipolar operation. Okay. So for this output, how to get this output voltage 0, because the load means by operating this switches T1 and by operating the switches T3. This T1 and T3 both are operating means the voltage, this positive voltage is applied here plus, and the same way here positive voltage is applied plus. That means so for this here what is the voltage is called VA. Okay, and here what is the voltage here called VB. The VA is equal to VB if two devices are turned on, that is called T1 and T3. Two thyristors are turned on, or two devices. This is called two devices, IGBT or MOSFET. This is called IGBT or MOSFET, whatever it may be. So for if two devices, T1 and T3 devices are turned on, that means the voltage across this pole VA is equal to VB. That's the difference between VA minus VB is equal to 0. This way we will get the voltage across the load. It's called 0 voltage. Okay. So one is 0 is over, and then next how to get VD means by turning on T1, by turning on T1 and by turning on T2. Okay, this cross devices. Okay, by turning on T1, by turning on T2. So that means here positive voltage is applied, and here, and then this device is turned on, and this way this positive polarity, and device is turned on, and then we will get the voltage across the device is called here plus, across the load is called plus minus. So in this way, we'll get voltage across the load is called plus VD. This is called plus VD. So voltage polarity here plus, and this negative polarity is connected to the another side. Understand? The positive polarity, if it is device T1 and T2 are turned on, that means the polarity voltage across the load is called plus, here plus A is plus, and B is called minus. Here A is plus and B is minus. So like this, we will generate positive voltage. Clear? Here, so that means by turning on the T1, by turn on the T1 and by turn on the T3, okay, T1 is turned on and T3 is turned on. Okay, if it is on, that means here voltage is called VA, voltage across the load is called VA, and voltage across the load is called VB. That is called here positive voltage. Here is also positive voltage. That's why VA is equal to VB. Am I right? VA is equal to VB. Then voltage across the load VD is called VM. VD is equal to VM minus VB. Then that is equal to VA is equal to VB. Then that is equal to 0. VD is equal to 0 like this. So this voltages can be generated across the load. Am I right? And then if it is a thyristor T1 and T2, thyristor T1 and T2 are turned on. T1 and T2 combinations are turned on. That means positive voltage, this is called positive, is applied across VA, and T1 is turned on and T2 is turned on. That means, so here negative polarity, negative voltage, that is called here negative. Okay, so negative 0 voltage. So VA minus VB. So yeah, this voltage across this called pole is called VA, voltage across the load is called VA, and this is called minus VB. So that means here plus and minus. Okay, so like this VD polar in this way, we will get voltage across the load is called V naught is equal to VD. So like this, the voltage across the load can be generated by turning on the two devices. This is called unipolar operation. That means here total for this first configuration. So if you want 0 voltage and a VD, okay. So that means so like this, okay. So 0 and a VD. This is called unipolar operation. For this operation, so first if you want to get 0 voltage, T1 and T3 devices must be on. Then only so VD is equal to 0. Okay. And then next, if T1 and T2 devices are turned on, that means this device and this device is turned on. This output voltage V0 is equal to plus VD in this polarity. Okay. So this is one combination. And then second combination is called reverse. So if T3, I mean T4 and T2 devices, okay, T2, T4 and T4, this device and T2, this device are turned on, okay, IGBT or MOSFET. If T4 MOSFET or T2 MOSFET is turned on, then okay, voltage across the load VD, that is called 0. Here VD, voltage across the load is equal to 0. Clear? And if T4 and T3 devices are turned on, okay, T3 and T4, this device and this device are, if these two devices are turned on, that means the current here negative, this polarity is applied to across the load is called negative, and if it is turned on means this polarity is applied to this load is called positive. That means here voltage is called plus and minus. In this way, polarity is called, okay. So in this way, the polarity of across the load is called plus minus, opposite polarity of the previous one. Then the V0 voltage across the load is called minus. So in this way, we also generate this voltage across the load by turning on the different types of triggering pulse switching devices by using this sinusoidal pulse width modulation. Okay, this is called triggering pulse across the GVG1. Okay, try to consider here. So triggering pulse G1 is called width of the triggering pulse G1 is called this much, and here the next here yeah, like this. Okay, and then next VG3, okay, VG1 and VG3, okay, triggering pulse across the VG3, so we'll get like this. Okay, VG3 means so for VG2, VG3 for negative basic, for negative reference voltage. So here this is for this like this, minus VR is greater than minus VC. So we will get this type of triggering pulse. Here also minus VR is greater than minus VC. Okay. So like this, the width of the pulse can be generated. So here also for negative reference signal. Okay. So we'll get this. That means these two are not exactly complement. Okay. This and this is not exactly complement. So here this waveform and this waveform, this approximately same, exactly same. This is here for positive up cycle, and here this is for positive up cycle. This negative reference signal, positive up cycle is both are same. Okay, here positive reference signal, positive output triggering pulses. This for negative of reference signal, this is the triggering pulse. That means this these two are same. These two are same, and these two are same triggering pulses. Okay, but this triggering pulses, this degree is not equal. So this voltage across the load is called VAB, VA and VB. Voltage across the load is called VA and VB. And that, nothing but VG1 minus VG3. Okay, so try to consider here. So this is the width of the VG1 and the width of the VG3 is like this. So VG1 minus VG3 is called our voltage VAB. So this is the width of the VG1 and VG3. So width of the is called VG1 is called this, and the width of the VG1 is called this. And then difference between these two is called here 2. So this is the difference. Small difference is there. The width of the VG1 is somewhat higher than width of the VG3. Okay, so like this, this is the our output voltage. Because of that difference, so we will get this type of output voltage. And then here difference is called here. This is the total. This VG3. Okay, and then and VG1 is called this is VG1, and here there is no VG1, and here only VG1 is there. Here VG2, VG3 is 0. Okay, here up to here. So here VG1 is there, but here there is no VG3 signal. That's why. So we will get this signal. Okay, the signal we will get here. And similarly here also there is no VG2 signal, VG3 signal, gate signal. Okay, so here this means VG1 minus VG3 is called our this signal. So that means here to here. This signal, so we will get across the load. Yes. The similar way here also. So VG1, VG3 is absent here, VG1 present. That's why we will get this type of voltage across the load. So this is called here. Here VG3 absent here. Up to here VG3 is absent, only VG1 is present. That's why. So only this signal is present here. Okay, like this, these different types of voltages are signals, triggering voltages are applied. Voltage across the loads are applied. That means here this voltage reference signal so will be generated like this. Our output voltage is generated like this according to our gate pulse. Okay, so this is our fundamental signal, our fundamental output voltage across the load. Okay. So by using the these types of triggering pulses VG1 and VG3, so we'll get this type of voltage. Okay, so this is our single phase full bridge PWM inverter operation.